given that this team is essentially last year's team with very few changes, I do think maybe we could draw a few more conclusions than we normally might after just a weekend full of games. So, with the obvious caveat that 4 games doesn't mean a ton, let's ask some questions and see kind of where we're at with it. And we'll start with this one. Is the offense different? Is the offense any different?
No, I have a hard time. I don't want to parse this out because the aggression in the base stealing and all of that is part of the offense, right? You're not separating like the batter's box from the bases. So that is all part of the offense. So I think some of the mindset, some of the freedom you're trying to give guys to bunt, better or worse, didn't see an immense amount of that. Certainly after the opening night with Jorge, there was a little conversation, I think, with Dan. But I think from the wanting to be aggressive, and I think Scott, by and large, and that staff wanted guys to steal. I think there were green light guys that gave them the freedom to the Robles and the Julio and those guys to steal. So I can't say, and certainly if you're just talking about process versus results, process didn't feel too dissimilar, and the results, unfortunately, were not dissimilar.
Yeah, I think I'll mince even fewer words. No. The offense was not appreciably different. They had 5 hits in each game. They're hitting 175 as a team against a decent but not great pitching staff. In the 4 games, they struck out 7, 13, 12, and 9 times. That's 41 times in 4 games. So they're already striking out more than 10 times per game. And when they won because they took walks and hit home runs. They lost when they didn't. Pretty much that simple. It's the same thing I've been saying for a long time. You can bunt and steal and all that stuff, and I think it'll help. I mean, I'm not mad at them for them doing it, but at the end of the day, in modern baseball, you win when you take walks and hit home runs.
Yep.
And you can strike out all you want. As long as you take walks and hit home runs, you'll find ways to win.
Yeah, and I think you got to add maybe the caveat as well.
Hit with runners in scoring position. Yeah, they didn't do that either.
No, Saturday night, the stinger of that at 1 for 10 with a guy that was so wildly erratic. And I will say this, if any of the Mariners, you're the most unlucky of the weekend was Randy. Randy hit a bomb yesterday that was, Daniel Kramer tweeted out.
28 feet.
Yeah. I mean, he hit it to the fence, and it was affected by 28 feet of wind against. So, that's going to be a 2-run homer for him. Saturday night in the opening inning, to get the bases loaded, you draw a walk, you get hit by a pitch, you got a hit, you get the bases loaded, nobody out. And Randy hits just a screaming, memey missile that the other Max Muncy just catches on the back end of his glove there right into center field.
Yeah, they had some bad luck, especially he did. But,
that's baseball.
At the end of 4 games, that's all we have to judge right now. And again, doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. 41 strikeouts, and you win when you hit your home runs, you lose when you don't. I mean, that seems a lot like what I've seen for quite some time.
And that's the guy yesterday that was way below league average in strikeouts per 9, who spun 9 strikeouts on you.
I know.
That was not Skubal, who's coming in this week. That was not some of the frontline guys. And even, in the opener, a frontline guy, you did draw 5 walks, and that certainly helped and got him out of the game. But that was not one of the better rotations you're going to see over the course of the season either.
Is the defense a problem? I don't know why you need a sigh. Yes, the defense is a problem, especially in the infield. Yeah. Polanco's not really a third baseman.
Was his arm...
He's not a third baseman. He's not a third baseman.
But his arm isn't that. It's not like Urias from a year ago with the bum shoulder that we watched.
He hit a bomb this weekend, by the way.
I mean, that throw on opening night that 2 hopped over. I was like, okay, maybe just... And then the throw the other,
the defense can be a problem in the infield.
Wow, are you trying to tell me that's how Perry teaches it, to throw 4 hops over to first?
Stop.
Did you? Well, he tried to tell me that during the break.
You can ask Divish about that in an hour, because that is exactly what he's talked about when he's talked to the team.
1 hop, but not 2 hops.
Okay, so the execution
Nobody teaches 2 hops.
The execution of it was not great. Yes, correct.
Right.
I understand that you can teach 1 hop, and sometimes you can get the little skip, too. It'll go even... That's all. But 2 hops?
Okay, yes. Again, the execution
of it
was
8
not
hops?
great.
How about 3? I think it was a 3-hopper.
Also, Dylan Moore should be picking that ball at first base. That's the other side of this. The throw wasn't great, but Demo's got to pick that ball.
Noted first baseman Dylan Moore, right? I mean, this is what happens when you've got 5 different guys play. You know what would have been better? Rather than Dylan Moore trying to pick a ball from Jorge Polanco throwing from third to first, if Dylan Moore was throwing the ball from third and Jorge Polanco was picking it at first.
He's never played a game at first base.
First base is easy. Jorge Polanco can play first. You don't have to do too much there. Throw across the diamond.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man.
You know who
when
was
you've got
pretty good,
four
though?
guys or 3-4 guys playing out of position in the infield, these things are going to happen.
You know
Yes,
what's
the
pretty good?
defense is a problem.
Bliss was pretty good. Bliss was vacuum with everything that came his way.
But
right?
but literally, we know Ryan Bliss isn't a very good second baseman defensively.
He's a young guy. I don't think everybody's written that into stone.
Yeah, I don't think he has a
we
great
have
arm.
seen, we have seen guys develop here, Salk.
I
have.
I'm not
think
saying
Bliss
he can't
is-
develop, but I think that.
I think
Not
Bliss's
in the-
glove is.
yeah.
I think Bliss's glove is solid. I just don't think he has a strong arm.
That's definitely not the report on him. The report is that he struggles with a lot of the easy ones. You can make a lot of errors at second base.
Yep.
He didn't make one in 4 games. That's great.
Yep.
But again, I feel like you got a lot of guys playing out of position, and to me, that's why your defense may be a problem. By the way, if you are on Ben Williamson watch, as I am, because I would like to see him up sooner rather than later, he's got to hit in AAA to get it done. In his first 3 games, he is 3 for 11 with 3 strikeouts and a stolen base. I mean, not
And 2
overwhelmed.
Gold Glove plays.
The one he made yesterday was ridiculous. I didn't see the other one.
The other one was kind of like spring training where he charged and just quickly had to get it in and out of his hand and in an absolute hurry and throw a missile to first base.
How many
to-
hops was it?
It was no hops.
It was
on
no
that one.
hops.
No.
Okay, so he did no hops. Okay, just so I
I'll
just
tell you,
check
he
the number of
did
hops.
such an unbelievable fast burpee on that play behind third.
Yeah.
Where he gets to his feet and throws an absolute rocket shot. Yeah.
He's just a natural defender over
Yes.
there. So,
Yes.
again, if you're watching and waiting to see whether or not he can hit it all, 3 for 11 so far with 3 strikeouts and a stolen base. We'll see what that looks like over the course of the first few weeks. And if it continues at, that pace, he's probably going to be up here sooner rather than later. And you can move Polanco to second base or first, where I think he probably belongs at this stage in his career. How's the pen?
Can I get back to the offense just real quickly? Just to add one. No, I want to add one other little note because I think
Please
this
do.
is important, and this doesn't come DM'd from Luke Arkins. Maybe it did last year as we talked about this. You hit 3 home runs in 4 games, right? Obviously, 2 of them are game winners. I mean, you had to have Polanco and you had to have Julio yesterday in late innings to get it done. Do you know how many doubles you hit in 4 games?
None.
1.
One.
You had 1 double in 4 games.
How many did the A's hit?
I don't know that.
I mean,
don't
again,
think
one thing about this park is
different
it really
rotations,
suppresses doubles.
different. I mean, we got Logan.
I know
and
that,
Wu
but
and
some of that to me is this park is going to really suppress doubles.
That one double, by the way, was about 4 inches from being a home run. It was Victor Robles'
Right.
double off the wall.
And I know one of the doubles the A's had really was a single that Randy played into a double. Right, that was when he was doing his push-ups afterwards, right? Because I think he played a single into a double. So this park does suppress doubles. That is part of
does.
it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like those things are.
But if
are
you're going
frustrating.
to, kind of play gap to gap and be up the middle and stuff, you'd hope to see some of those kind of one hop the walls or hitting the alleys and just that continues to be and was such a bugaboo a season ago as well.
How's the pen?
Mooney was awesome.
Yep.
Yep. Mooney was awesome, and Thornton scared the heck out of me with a walk to start the 8th inning. Those usually come back and bite you, but he was able to scramble out of that thing with no margin for error and get out of it. Obviously gave up the home run on the opening night, but I think he's got some decent stuff. The bottom of that bullpen, as you saw, what was that, Friday? Problematic.
Yeah, I'll go with some good news here. What maybe the single best sign I saw over 4 games was that Santos looked good. Gregory Santos looked really good. I mean, he nearly killed somebody with 101. No idea where it was going. Almost hit him straight in the head. But okay, maybe effectively wild in that case. I thought Aaron did a really good job of pointing out yesterday that even though he's throwing 100 plus and he's built he's just gigantic out there. He's really more of a ground ball pitcher than he is just a strikeout pitcher. And you saw that yesterday, right? He's now got 2 outings. He hasn't walked the building around. And yesterday, 3 straight ground balls. Soft ground balls, too. I mean, they weren't there was no mystery about them. They were easily vacuumed up and thrown to first, even by this infield. So I got to say, if I'm looking for the biggest positive I saw this weekend, it was definitely Gregory Santos maybe becoming less of an idea and more of a leverage guy, because I saw a leverage reliever yesterday. Great news.
Yep.
Vargas, Saucedo, a little more question marks.
Spire.
Yeah.
I thought Gabe looked pretty good. Gabe
better.
Spire looked pretty good in his one outing.
I guess I didn't see Gabe. I'm sorry. I did not get a chance to see Gabe. So he looked good. Good.
I thought he did. I mean, it was a short outing, but he got a strikeout. He got a ground out. Yeah.
I turned on the game. I watched Saucedo give up a moonshot to Luis Urias, and I was like, yeah, okay.
That was Vargas that gave that up.
Oh, sorry. Vargas gave one up to Urias. Saucedo gave up a shot to somebody else. It was just like, I'm sorry. Now both those guys are going to be gone in a couple of weeks when you get Troy Taylor and you get Matt Brash back, and Bizzardo kind of is what he is. So, how's the coaching and how has the management been? What do we see with Dan and sort of the way that trickles out to the team?
I kind of like the push-ups. I kind of liked some of the edge. I kind of like some of the emotion from both Thursday night and certainly with Julio's home run yesterday. And, you kind of get the feel and the sense that, these guys are, they want to do this. You saw some of the emotion, right? And you can look at that either way. You could say, man, Randy was frustrated. JP was frustrated, hit a couple balls, and they get no kind of, result from it. Or you could flip it around and go, no, I like that. That's 162 battles. And every single at-bat and every single game and every single moment is going to be an important deal here. And finding a way to split that series and Julio coming through makes you feel a little bit better on a Monday. With
I mean, overall, I think what you would say is if you lose the, aggregate, but win or tie the series, you've probably managed pretty well.
Yeah, -6 in run differential.
Right? I mean, you get outscored 14-8, but you tie the series 2-2. Generally, that's a positive for the manager. And using, Vargas and Saucedo and Bizzardo in a game, get blown out 7-0. Okay, fine, whatever. Like, that happens.
Yep.
But come back and find a way to win the close ones, and they did win 2 of the 3 closer games. Generally, that's a pretty good sign that your manager's doing his job. I didn't really see a lot of mental mistakes. They did have a guy thrown out at the plate. Not really a mental mistake, right? Yeah. You did have a situation where he kind of managed into Luke Raley against the lefty on Friday in a big spot. I don't know that I would have wanted that to go that. Maybe that was Saturday, but I wouldn't have wanted that to go that way. But overall, I don't know. I got no real problems with the way the games were managed. Yep. And as long as the mental mistakes are limited, then I'll say they're concentrating and he's kind of doing his job in that regard.
Yeah, got to be just, they know this infinitely more than any of us know it. Like, there's still a lot of times where you just got to be on that fastball. And Dan's saying it, about Julio's home run, that, the approach was right, that we're going to be on the fastball, and then the soft stuff, you can hit 440 feet, and got guys that can do that. But felt like there was a bunch of 93 fastball, and again, you can just hear the guys, and you can hear Ryan, or you can hear Aaron, or you can hear Gary, or you can hear Rizzer say, yeah, 93 there down the middle. Like that's the one you got to have. If you get 1 or 2 in a bat, as Julio said, or 1.5 in a bat, you got to make those pay. And there were just ample opportunities, I think, to do more of that.
Well, we really do appreciate you guys watching our videos.
And remember, you can like it, you can subscribe it, you can download the Seattle Sports app so you never miss a minute.